get their own language. It happens gradually. Um, Firstly, it begins by losing only some words at first. Later, the grammar begin to suffer. But if they learn and speak their first language regularly, they will able to use it fluently again. And secondly, there were several situations that can affect people's ability to communicate and on of one thing in common, which is related to the environment and the people they interact with. And for example, if a person is raised in the jungle, her or him communication skill will be weaker to those of a person living in a human community. Communication skill is not exclusively determined by personality. It is also affected by the choices we have learned to make by watching others or influenced from a variety of life experiences. And finally, these some people must face the number issues when interacting with other people. The reasons is they cannot use their voice to express their feeling or express their ideas because they must transition to a new mode of communication that measure up the articulated movements. And on the other hand, just a few people in our community are proficient in sign language, so despite it's too hard to interact normally with the disabled people. Cái phần của tôi ở trên là nói gì đó, có ai đặt câu hỏi không?
Um, uh, so, do you think that Vietnamese people have a lot of struggles with learning a new language, and why? Thank you.
I think Vietnamese people have a lot of struggles with learning a new language because communication in a foreign language is extremely complicated. People usually raise up, embraced, and misunderstood by others around them. Besides lacking of confidence to speak a language is also a big problem. It takes time to think in a native language first, and people must take time to translate it into another language. And beside that is imitating of the sound which are typical of that language. For example, in English, they not the single version of English because English is spoken in many countries of the world, and people in this country might pronounce the same word in different ways. This can be very confusing to Vietnamese when trying to speak English. And another difficult thing is Vietnamese learning English is forgetting the final sound. In Vietnamese, the final consonants of the word are natural or limited to the voiceless stop. This is why one of the common problems Vietnamese face when trying to speak English is not pronouncing the final sound of the words. That's all.
Có đủ thời gian chưa chị Thư?
Hình như là thầy chỉ chưa đếm cái phần nói thôi á, còn phần trả lời không đếm đúng không?
Hình như là vậy á, đếm phần trên á.
Dạ, tại vì mọi người có văn thì dạ, chắc là phần nói không đó. Nhưng mà nếu như mà hỏi thêm câu hỏi là không đủ, em sợ không đủ.
Đúng rồi, hình như chỉ đếm phần nói không à.
Dạ. Ok, vậy thôi.
3 phút 10 giây đó.
Vì chắc
3 phút 10.
Vậy cũng thôi vậy mỗi người nói mỗi topic của mỗi nhóm đi, rồi sau đó còn dư thời gian thì mình hãy hỏi lại.
Ok.
Dạ, ok.
Vậy qua chủ đề 2 đi.
Qua chủ đề 2 đi mọi người.
Có ai chủ đề 2 không mọi người?
Có ai nhóm 2
chủ đề 2 là ai?
Hình như em nghe thì chắc không có.
Có. Wow. Trương Bảo. Trương Bảo.
Trương Bảo Trân.
Bạn Trương Bảo là bạn là chủ đề 2 đúng không bạn? Bạn Bảo ơi, bạn là chủ đề 2 đúng không? Mọi người có nghe tiếng bạn Bảo không? Dạ mọi người. Sao em không nghe?
Bạn Bảo nhắn là đúng rồi đó bạn ơi. Bạn Bảo nhắn ở trong box chat box là đúng rồi đó. Là chủ đề 2 nhưng mà không biết là cái mic của bạn có hư
Của
không?
Trân bị hư hả?
Mấy bạn đâu có
Không nghe bạn ơi.
Không có nghe bạn ơi, không có nghe. Tại vì em tham gia bằng người dự á, cái cho nên không có thấy được cái box chat.
Vậy qua nhóm khác đi, họ quay lại nhóm của Bảo.
nhóm 3 trước đi.
Đó nhóm
Nhóm
tôi.
3 trước đi mọi người.
Bấm giờ giùm nha Thư. Recently, it's easy for us to see illusion happening in our life. That's why we sometimes deceive our mind by the eyes. To understand more about why we are deceived, I will talk about characteristics, examples, active and passive types of deception. A visual or optical illusion is something that isn't real. It may look real, but it's actually fake. It is something that deceives by proceeding a phone or misleading impression of reality. Deception are just cases of errors in judgment. They don't physically exist. Our eyes capture light from an object that reflects light and focus the image upon the retina where message and then carry on to the brain. The retina is found at the back of the eye and it contains cells that respond to light. For example, harvesting sleep is a phenomenon of deception vision. When I watch it in some videos or images on the internet, I feel so surprised and I wonder where it's from. Is it real? Actually, it is a phenomenon of mirrors related to the effect of temperature and the light that make a reflection of the real object with a higher position. That's so interesting. Active deception involves intentionally providing inaccurate and or false information of subject. On the other hand, passive deception involves withholding information or incomplete disclosure of information with the intention of misleading subject about the research purpose or producer. In short, illusion is something that isn't real, and our minds tend to make assumptions about the world, and what you think, what you see is often not true. That's all. Phần của tôi xong rồi đó.
Cảm ơn bạn. Dạ tiếp theo là chủ đề 4. Nhóm mình ai là người có chủ đề 4 vậy ạ? Dạ mọi người ơi.
Hình như không có chủ đề 4 luôn Mi ơi.
Qua chủ đề 5
Nhưng qua chủ đề 5 luôn hả mọi người?
Đi qua chủ đề 5 là của tôi á, ai bấm giùm tôi đi.
ok bấm ra.
Như vậy là nhóm mình có vài chủ đề bị trùng phải không mọi người?
Ủa, gì có ai chủ đề 4? Ủa, có ai chung chủ đề 5 với tôi không?
Hoặc là có ai chung chủ đề 2 với bạn Bảo không mọi người? Mọi người ơi.
Hình như là không á.
Không có Mi ơi, có mình nên Bảo à.
Dạ. Vậy tiếp theo là mọi người có ai bị trùng chủ đề mọi người nói lên nha mọi người. Để mình trình bày một lượt hết hai người của cùng một chủ đề luôn. Sorry mọi người, chỗ em mưa lớn á.
Có mình với bạn Thư á, là chung chủ đề 6 luôn nha.
Tôi cũng chủ đề 6.
Là 3 người chủ đề 6 luôn. Ok, vậy một chút nữa tới chủ đề 6 mọi người lần lượt trình bày hết cái chủ đề 6 nha.
Ok.
Cảm ơn mọi người.
Là mỗi bạn đều nói 3 phút hả?
Dạ đúng rồi.
Rồi, ok, thank you.
Dạ bây giờ tiếp theo xin mời bạn Trang hả? Xin mời bạn. Ai là người có chủ đề nam đó mọi người mà mọi người nên nói.
Tôi nè, ai bấm giùm tôi đi.
Rồi, ok.
Vô nha. People feel more secure when they are on their territory. The elements such as the amount, distribution, or shape of interior spaces significantly impact people's mental health. When people can control their personal space, they are more comfortable and satisfied. However, when their personal space is intruded on, they easily become anxious, discouraged, and frustrated. The different territories have different psychology needs. For example, when people tend to concentrate on their home more important than their workplace, which is more important than their co-worker workplace. Uh, Besides the elements, I think that color also affects human behavior. For example, brighter spaces are also perceived as being less clear and less crowded than darker spaces of the same size and shape. Therefore, people in brighter spaces will be happier and more comfortable than people in dark spaces. To sum up, the interrelationship between human behavior and environmental psychology are closely related and interconnected, and they interact and influence each other. Hết rồi.
Có 1 phút 39 giây.
Ồ đúng rồi, dạ đúng rồi. Giờ một phút bên em bấm trễ chứ 1 phút 40 giây. Vậy mình hỏi thêm chị Anh Thư một vài câu hỏi đi nha mọi người. Cho đủ thời gian của chị Anh Thư. Vậy em hỏi, em xin phép hỏi nha. Why is it important for you to have your own space?
We always have to be in a space that is disturbed by many things around us. It is annoying. But if we have our own space, we will get a lot of new things. In my opinion, everyone needs to have their personal space to really do the things they like in that place. We not only we do not only do personal things such as changing clothes, going to the toilet, but also sporadic objects such as money, documents, or diaries. When we have the opportunity to be alone in that place, we will have more time to reflect and discover new sides of ourselves. From there, we can understand and love ourselves more.
Thank you. Tiếp theo mọi người ơi. Qua chủ đề số 6. Và một trong ba người mọi người muốn ai trình bày trước thì cũng được.
Tại vì tôi với chị Hạnh thì cùng nhóm với mọi người, cho nên là chị Hạnh sẽ đại diện nói, rồi có gì trước thì tôi sẽ bổ sung, còn các bạn còn lại thì khác nhóm, cho nên là chắc là bạn sẽ nói riêng.
Ok.
Ok mọi người, ok.
Vậy bạn nào bấm giùm Hạnh nha.
Dạ chị Hạnh nói đi, chị Hạnh nói đi chị.
Mấy bạn bấm giùm Hạnh nha. Alo, mấy bạn nghe rõ không ta?
Ok, để tôi bấm nè.
Nghe rõ không em ơi?
Dạ nghe.
Dạ rồi, chị cũng thấy nha.
Dạ rõ.
Nào nha. Good morning everyone. I come from Group 6 and our topic is innovation and new ideas. The first one I'm here to talk to you about the definition of innovation and new ideas. Innovation is a process by which a domain, a product, or a service is renewed and brought up to date by applying new processes, introducing the new techniques, or establish successful ideas to create new value. And the second part is when people need innovation or new ideas, we are inherently we're used to the things that are really there. But when new things or actions happen that they haven't foreseen, we immediately need to innovation to adapt it to it. For example, in early um, 20 years, phones uh, phones were still very sketchy, only used for calling and texting. But today, because of the increasing needs of people and increasingly modern life, people are forced to improve their phones. They almost turn it into a smartphone, and it can meet to modern humans with many convenient functions, such as watching videos, reading newspapers, talking features, calling FaceTime, and free over internet. And the main reason is trend times make people tend to not the current trend, and then the old methods are not very effective. And next to the third part, our idea about the innovation and new ideas. There are two trends for innovation, like and dislike. Why people like innovation? Because current TikTok is trendy and on video on TikTok is very short, saving time to work. Besides, it has a lot of very effective cooking videos. But someone dislike because they really don't want to trend. They are used to watch long videos and thus analyze the instruction more clearly. Moreover, they get used to the old way and assume innovation is more complicated for them. And is changing more effective than not changing in the uh, fourfold um, error. Possible solution for inventions for the problems. Production a new machinery and equipment to save labor, time and money to compare our technologies and handmade products. That's on our presentation. Thanks for listening. Hello, can you hear me clear? Really?
Nghe rồi đó Hạnh ơi.
Dạ,
Thank
nghe
you.
dạ nghe.
Ủa hơi dài hết ta. Thank you mấy bạn.
Ê, bạn Thư có bổ sung gì không?
Hả sao anh?
Cái bạn trong nhóm bạn Hạnh có bổ sung gì không?
Không bạn ơi.
Ok, vậy tôi nói trong nhóm tôi. Bấm vào giùm nha. We are talking about an innovations or new ideas. Firstly, the definition of a new idea. New ideas as a concept refers to the process that an individual or organization undertakes to conceptualize brand new products, process, and ideas, or to approach existing products, processes in a new way. For the conditions, in my opinion, there are two types of conditions. That is external conditions and internal conditions. The external conditions are consumer demands. For example, BTS with BTS Hunter provide local sneaker products for attracting Vietnamese young millions, with various models and campaigns about culture and lifestyle, support from public policies, and the improvement of technology. For instance, we create 3D printing to make things like building, designing less complicated and time-consuming. However, we cannot do all of this if we don't have certain technology improvements. And for the internal conditions, it's about the human. It's the environment for people to be creative, for creating innovations. We can set it. We need to have passion on our subject. We need to have a team of diverse people with different angles and feelings about our work. We need to have enough energy to motivate our team to brainstorm the new idea. We also need to have a space or freedom for them to be flexible, to be creative, and finally, we need to dare to do new things. I have an example about this condition, the innovation of Khoa học trò magazine for the magazine for teenagers. They change their own product to the new modern style by changing their workplace, changing the attitude of the employee, ignoring some negative feedback, just make their ideas happen, and then they can change the audience per, per perspective about possible solutions or inventions for the problem. We, we cannot be innovate while we still keep the old mindset as we had before. So to create solutions, we need to make creative thinking and understand clearly what our decision will become. The problem solving process has to be a logical process and creativity should come along with it. In my opinion, to make possible solutions is that we firstly identify the problem, the demand, and gather the information about the problem, like how it affects, why, and when did it happen. And then we clarify it for developing inventions. After that, we should take the risk and the possibilities of our inventions. Finally, we apply the solutions to the problems. Um, in my opinion, innovations have been good, but when used badly, they have surely affected human lives in the worst way possible. You can look at the bottom bomb, the one, the one innovation that changed the world forever, that changed the lives of two cities and millions of it people forever. The generation to come have suffered because of that innovation. Then, then there are cigarettes. There's no, there's nothing good about cigarettes, and people are addicted to it, affecting their lives and people around them. Also, gunpowder, a million people are dying because of it. So that's it. Thank you for your listening.
Thank you.
Rồi, dài dữ vậy.
Dạ, hơi dài. Mình cũng thấy hơi dài. Mà không chắc không có sao đâu. Giờ tiếp theo.
Em là các bạn nha.
Vi ơi, chỗ của bà nó hơi bị ồn á. Hình như là giống như tiếng gió vậy đó Vi.
Ok.
Hết rồi. Ok.
Tôi bắt đầu hai mọi người. Hello everyone. Today I will talk about topic 7 about
energy resources. In this topic, I would like introduce Taria's energy. I would like to introduce to anyone about Taria's energy resources and reason why energy sources to become serious issue and solution for it. As we know, there are many kinds of energy in life. They can be divided into renewable and non-renewable energy sources. Firstly, a renewable energy source is any natural resource that can realize it quickly and dependably. These energy sources are plentiful, sustainable, naturally replenished, and good to the environment. Renewable energy sources include solar energy, wind energy, geothermal energy, hydropower energy, and biomass energy. Secondly, the non-renewable energy source is a source with a limited supply that we can mine or extract from the earth, and it'll eventually run out. The major types of sources of non-renewable energy are petroleum, hydrocarbon gas liquids, natural gas, coal, and nuclear energy. Mm, we Um, we move to the part two, the reasons for energy sources to become serious issues. We need energy sources to power economic activity, production, as well as in all aspects of life. Most of energy that we use come from fossil fuels such as petroleum, gas, and coal. They are non-renewable sources. Scientists predict that their reserves will not be enough to provide humans for the next few decades. And when these resources are exhausted, an energy crisis that causes a lot of economic damage is inevitable. In addition, the demand for energy is increasing due to the growth of world population, while the supplies are finite. That raises a risk of energy insecurity. This risk occurs not only in poor countries but also